Meghan Markle's new Netflix cooking show could be on the chopping block before it even hits the streaming platform. After disastrous test screenings, sources say Netflix is seriously considering canceling the project. What's Meghan's reaction to this potential career setback? Let's just say she's outraged. But is the backlash warranted, or is this just another case of high expectations crashing against reality? Let's break it down. It was supposed to be Meghan Markle's big comeback, a cooking show where she would spotlight diverse women and celebrate global food cultures. For a couple of years, the project was shrouded in secrecy, and when it was finally announced, fans were eager to see what Meghan would bring to the table. After all, she's known for her humanitarian work and personal brand of empowerment, so it seemed like a natural fit. Netflix had already signed a lucrative deal with the Sussexes, and this show seemed like a perfect addition to their growing portfolio. But things have taken a dramatic turn. After test screenings of Meghan's cooking show were conducted, the feedback was brutal. Viewers found the show's content to be shallow, fake, and lacking the authenticity Meghan has so often claimed to embody. What was meant to be an inspiring series that celebrated cultural diversity and brought women's stories to life has instead been labeled as more of the same. Yet another celebrity-turned-cookbook author project with little to offer. This isn't just a mild criticism. The response has been so overwhelming that Netflix is now considering pulling the plug entirely. A source close to the situation revealed that executives are seriously rethinking the direction of the show after receiving underwhelming reviews. While no final decisions have been made, the backlash has clearly shaken both Meghan and Netflix to the core. Meghan's reaction? Outrage. Sources say she's livid that her show is being criticized as fake and overproduced, two things she's always prided herself on not being. Meghan, who has built her public persona around themes of authenticity, mental health advocacy, and social justice, feels blindsided. The test screenings revealed a significant disconnect between the show's intended message and the reality it presented to viewers. Despite her claims of authenticity, the show came off as scripted, overproduced, and contrived. Everything Meghan said she wanted to avoid. But what went wrong? How did this ambitious project veer off track so quickly? For starters, critics have pointed out that Meghan's cooking skills, while certainly not non-existent, aren't quite on the level one might expect from a cooking show host. Throughout the pilot, there were awkward moments where Meghan stumbled over basic culinary techniques, and several viewers found her interactions with chefs to be uncomfortable and forced. Instead of feeling like a genuine conversation about food and culture, it seemed like a scripted exchange where Meghan was trying too hard to seem relatable and down to earth. Furthermore, the show's focus on empowerment and cultural diversity seemed tone-deaf, with many viewers pointing out that the show was largely about Meghan and her narrative, rather than the women whose stories she was supposed to be highlighting. The backlash was swift, with many criticizing Meghan for using a platform that was meant to elevate others as a vehicle for self-promotion. It's not that people didn't want to see stories of inspiring women or different culinary traditions. They did. But they didn't want it to feel like Meghan was using them as props to advance her own personal brand. Viewers felt that she was more concerned with looking good on camera than with offering anything meaningful. But what truly pushed the show into the danger zone was the lack of chemistry between Meghan and the chefs she was supposed to be working with. The interactions felt stiff, with some even calling them awkward. The show was supposed to be a celebration of food, culture, and connection, but instead, it felt like a forced collaboration between an actress-turned-activist and a group of people who were there just for the paycheck. It wasn't just the cooking show's content that raised eyebrows, it was Meghan's entire approach to the project. Sources close to the production have said that Meghan insisted on a level of control that didn't sit well with the team. She wanted everything her way, from the script to the narrative, and this, according to insiders, led to a lack of cohesion in the final product. Instead of empowering others, the show became another way for Meghan to project her own image, while overshadowing the voices it originally intended to elevate. Now, this isn't the first time Meghan's faced criticism for her perceived lack of authenticity. After stepping away from royal life, she and Harry have consistently made headlines for their ambitious endeavors, some of which have been met with skepticism. Their Spotify podcast was delayed multiple times, their charity work has been scrutinized, and their Netflix deal has been called into question. Meghan's critics argue that she's more interested in promoting her own image than truly making a difference. But the cooking show was supposed to be different. Meghan had talked about how she wanted it to be a personal project, a way to connect with people on a human level. She was supposed to be the relatable, down-to-earth host, celebrating global flavors while showing that anyone could be a chef in their own kitchen. Instead, it felt more like another celebrity vanity project, one that didn't quite live up to the hype. So what does all of this mean for Meghan and her future with Netflix? Sources say Meghan is not ready to let go of the show just yet. She's reportedly been fighting hard behind the scenes to convince Netflix executives to give it another shot. The backlash has clearly rattled her, but Meghan is known for her determination. She's reportedly working with the team to re-edit the show, making changes to the tone and format in hopes of winning back viewers. But will it be enough? Or is it too late to salvage the project? It's important to note that Netflix is no stranger to canceling shows based on poor test screenings or critical feedback. Even high-profile projects with big names attached have been axed when they failed to resonate with audiences. So Meghan is now at a crossroads. Will she be able to retool the show into something the public can embrace? Or will Netflix decide it's just not worth the investment? The bigger question, though, is what this failure means for Meghan's brand moving forward. After all, this cooking show was supposed to be a key part of her post-royal life. Meghan and Harry have been clear about their goal of carving out independent careers and making a name for themselves outside the royal family. But every public misstep, whether it's a failed podcast, a poorly received show, or a media misfire, chips away at the image they've worked so hard to build. For Meghan, this isn't just about a cooking show. It's about her place in the entertainment industry. She's navigating a world where celebrity is earned and public perception is everything. This test screening disaster might be just the beginning of a much larger problem for Meghan, who will need to adjust quickly if she hopes to salvage her future in the media. And what about Netflix? The streaming giant has made big bets on high-profile projects with the Sussexes, but if this show flops, it could signal a re-evaluation of their relationship. Will Netflix stand by Meghan and give her another chance? Or will this be the first of many canceled deals? The fate of Meghan's cooking show is hanging by a thread. But the real question is, can she turn things around? Or will this be a major blow to her post-royal career? With so much at stake, it's hard to say what will happen next. What we do know is that this test screening disaster has shaken Meghan to the core, and how she handles the fallout could define her future in the entertainment industry. Will Netflix decide to axe the project, or will Meghan fight back to keep her dream alive? We'll just have to wait and see.